Enjoyment unlimited.
Hit music station.
This is Carnival Radio. Midday News.
Good afternoon and welcome. I am Ibrahim Adebayo with the Carnival Midday News. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC has suggested the suggestion by governors that they should be allowed to determine the wages of their workers, saying it is not only dictatorial but against the concept of minimum wage. The Southern Governors Forum, in a communique issue at the end of their meeting held in Abeokuta, Oyo State capital, advocated that each state should be allowed to negotiate what it could pay with labor. The forum argued that the minimum wage should be reflective of the cost of living and that each state should be allowed to negotiate its minimum wage. Reacting to the position of the Southern Governors Forum, the NLC, in a statement yesterday, warned the state governors against further inflammatory statements concerning the minimum wage to avoid provoking industrial unrest. In the statement signed by Mr. Benson Okpa, NLC Head, Information and Public Affairs, it contended that it may no longer be able to withstand the pressure for industrial action should the minimum wage issue continue to prolong. NLC urged President Bola Tinubu, who had promised a living wage, not to allow himself to be blackmailed or boxed into a corner by unpatriotic governors. In another news, Justice K.B. Olawoyin of an Oyo State High Court sitting in Ogbomoso has barred the son of Ogbomoso, Oba Afolabi Gandhi Olaoye, and king makers in Ogbomoso land, led by Chief Sobalaje Otolorin, from removing the chief imam of Ogbomoso, Sheikh Tolia Yunus Al-Yilara. Soun and the chief imam have been in supremacy battle in the last few months. Report has it that the Muslims in the town, under the auspices of registered trustees of Ogbomoso Muslim Youth Forum, dragged the traditional ruler and the kingmakers, who are members of the surrounding council, to court over planned removal of the cleric. The court, presided over by Justice Olawoyin, barred the traditional ruler and the surrounding council from removing the chief imam. Further hearing on the case has now been adjourned to July 1st, 2024. Meanwhile, farmers and community leaders in part of the Cross River Northern Senatorial District have lamented excessive extortion by government agents and the terrible state of evacuation roads for farm produce. Agric is the main source of income in the northern area, including Yala, Ogoja, Obudu, Bewara, and Obaniku. Farmers in different interviews said excessive extortion and a bad road network are two major problems, adding that it has contributed to the wastage of their farm crops as they are unable to convey their produce to urban centers and market due to the bad roads across the community. The community leader in Okuku, Yala local government, Joseph Ude, said the issue of numerous extortion checkpoints in these villages and towns has become very worrisome. Also, the farmer called on Governor Basi Utu to urgently prioritize the development of rural roads and give the local government councils the resources and orders to start fixing local roads. On the foreign scene, the snap presidential election in Iran is heading into a runoff next week after reformist back Mansour Penchikian and headliners Shahid Jalili emerged at the top but failed to secure a majority in a vote with a record low turnout. Only 40% of more than 61 million eligible Iranians voted. The Ministry of Interior said this today, a new low in presidential elections since the country 1979 revolution. The final numbers from the election headquarters at the ministry shown that the moderate Penchexian received more than 10.4 million votes from a total of more than 24.5 million ballots counted, trailed by former nuclear negotiator Said Jalili with 9.4 million votes. The voter party comes as many as disillusioned in the aftermath of the deadly nationwide protest in 2022 and 2023 as the economics continue to deal with myriad challenges, including more than 40% inflation due to mismanagement and United States sanctions. A high turnout appear likely if Iran votes in the July runoff, since it will present a clearer choice between opposing camps. In the interesting world of sports, players of the Super Eagles and the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation have yet to agree on how the $4 million prize money received from Confederation of African Football for receiving the final of 2023 AFCON will be shared. The players have demanded 30% of this prize money, which come down to $1.2 million, while the NFF are pleading with them to take 25%, which is $1 million. CAF paid the AFCON prize money to the NFF last month. It was previously reported that some of the players openly accused Captain Ahmed Musa of not doing enough to ensure they are paid what they are entitled to. The latest payroll should not be confused with the 12 billion naira generously approved by President Bola Tinubu in January to clear outstanding bonuses and allowances dating back to 2021. And that ends the midday news on Carnival Radio. Thank you so much for listening. I am Ibrahim Adebayo. You can download the Carnival Media app from Play Store, App Store. Good afternoon, and do enjoy the rest of your day.